Something is shifting in the shotgun world, not loudly, not dramatically, but consistently. For decades, the answer was simple. If someone asked what shotgun to trust, what shotgun to buy, what shotgun would work no matter what, the response was automatic. Pump action. Reliable, proven, simple. And for a long time, that was true. But here's what's happening in 2026. The shooters who train the most, the instructors who see real performance under stress, the professionals who depend on consistency, they're starting to choose differently. Not because pump shotguns stopped working, but because something else started working better. This isn't a trend driven by marketing. It's a shift driven by performance. Today, we're breaking down the shotguns that are quietly taking over in 2026, number by number. These are the platforms that are changing expectations, solving real problems, and redefining what a defensive shotgun should be. Let's get into it. Number 7. Mossberg 590A1. We start with a platform that refuses to leave the conversation. The 590A1 from OF Mossberg & Sons. This shotgun represents the old standard. Heavy-walled barrel, military-grade durability, tang-mounted safety that works for both right and left-handed shooters. It was built to survive abuse. And it does. Even in 2026, the 590A1 is still one of the most trusted pump-action shotguns ever made. It cycles reliably, handles different loads without issue, and performs under conditions where other systems might struggle. So, why is it still on this list if the market is shifting? Because it defines the baseline. Every new shotgun that claims to be better is measured against platforms like this. And here's the reality. Even as newer systems take over, the 590A1 remains the fallback. The gun people trust when everything else fails. That's not something you replace easily. Number 6. Benelli Nova Tactical. The Nova Tactical from Benelli Army takes the pump-action concept and refines it. Instead of traditional construction, the Nova uses a one-piece receiver design that combines polymer and steel. This creates a structure that is incredibly strong. It resists warping. It handles stress well. It maintains alignment under heavy use. The action is also smoother than many older pump designs. Cycling feels more controlled, more consistent, especially during rapid operation. What makes the Nova stand out is durability over time. It doesn't loosen up quickly. It doesn't develop inconsistencies early. It holds its performance. For shooters who still prefer pump action but want something more modern, this is where they're going. It bridges the gap between old-school reliability and updated design. Number 5. Stoer M3000 Defense. This is where the shift becomes visible. The M3000 from Stoer Industries introduces semi-automatic performance at a price point that more shooters can access. And that matters, because for years, semi-automatic shotguns were seen as premium options. Now they're becoming practical. The M3000 uses an inertia-driven system. This means fewer moving parts compared to gas systems and less sensitivity to fouling. The result is a shotgun that cycles reliably while still offering faster follow-up shots than pump guns. Recoil is also reduced compared to pump-action platforms, making it easier to control. This is often the first step for shooters moving away from pumps. And once they experience the difference, it changes expectations, because speed without extra effort is hard to ignore. Number 4. Mossberg 940 Tactical. The 940 Tactical from OF Mossberg & Sons represents a major evolution in defensive shotguns. This isn't just a semi-auto, it's a system designed specifically for modern use. Gas-operated action, improved recoil management, oversized controls for stress conditions. Everything about the 940 is built around usability. The controls are larger and easier to manipulate. The loading port is more accessible. The overall design reduces the difficulty of operating the shotgun under pressure. This is important because in real-world situations, fine motor skills degrade. Small buttons become hard to use. Precise movements become difficult. The 940 addresses that directly. It doesn't just perform well. It performs when the shooter isn't at their best. And that's a major reason it's gaining popularity. Number 3. Beretta 1301 Tactical. Now we move into the shotguns that are truly driving the shift. The 1301 Tactical from Beretta. This shotgun changed how many shooters think about semi-automatic performance. Its blink gas system cycles extremely fast, faster than most shooters expect. But speed alone isn't the story. Control is. The gas system absorbs part of the recoil, spreading the force over time and making the shotgun easier to handle. This allows shooters to stay on target. Follow-up shots become faster, recovery becomes easier, and the entire shooting experience becomes more manageable. The ergonomics also stand out. Oversized charging handle, large bolt release, intuitive control layout. Everything is designed to be used under pressure. That's why instructors are recommending this platform more frequently, because it works where it matters. Number 2, Benelli M4. The Benelli M4 from Benelli Army is not new, but its relevance has increased. Originally adopted by the U.S. Marine Corps, the M4 uses the Argo system, a dual short-stroke gas piston design. This system is extremely reliable. It handles different ammunition types. It operates under harsh conditions. It maintains performance over time. The M4 is heavier than many modern shotguns, but that weight contributes to recoil control. It stabilizes the platform. It reduces muzzle rise, and it allows for more controlled shooting. What makes the M4 stand out is consistency. It doesn't rely on perfect conditions. It doesn't require constant adjustment. It just works. And that's why it remains one of the most trusted semi-automatic shotguns in the world. Number 1, Beretta 1301 Tactical, the Quiet Takeover. At number 1, the Beretta 1301 Tactical defines the shift. Not because it's new, but because it solves problems that shooters have dealt with for years. Speed without effort, recoil that's easier to manage, controls that are easier to use, and most importantly, it reduces user error. Pump shotguns rely on the shooter to cycle the action correctly. Under stress, that's not guaranteed. The 1301 removes that variable. It cycles automatically, every time. This consistency is what's driving adoption. Shooters don't always talk about it, but they feel it. And once they do, they don't go back. Why this shift is happening? There's a pattern behind all of this. It's not about replacing old designs. It's about solving limitations. Pump shotguns are reliable, but they require input. Semi-automatic shotguns remove that requirement. They simplify the process. And when you simplify a system, you reduce the chance of error. That's what's happening here, not a revolution. An improvement. The shotgun world in 2026 isn't abandoning tradition, it's building on it. Pump-action shotguns still work. They're still reliable. They're still part of the conversation. But they're no longer the only answer, because modern shotguns offer something different. Speed without extra effort. Recoil that's easier to control. Designs that work with the shooter, not against them. And now, reliability that finally matches the old standard. That's why these shotguns are taking over. Not because they're being pushed, but because they're being chosen quietly, consistently, by people who care about performance more than anything else. And when that happens, the shift becomes permanent.